In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 MLB games happening on June 12, 2022. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets. As we provide these videos on a daily basis, I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 2 betting picks a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Texas Rangers versus Chicago White Sox. The Texas Rangers and Chicago White Sox wrap up their 3-game weekend series on Sunday in Chicago. Both teams find themselves in the middle of the pack in their respective divisions and under .500 at the moment. The pitching matchup for Sunday's finale pits right-hander Jon Gray of the Rangers against fellow righty Michael Kopech of the White Sox. The Rangers are 43-88 in their last 131 versus a right-handed starter and 28-64 in their last 92 road games. Texas is 1-4 in their last 5 in Game 3 of a series. Meanwhile, the Sox are 4-0 in their last 4 Sunday games and 11-5 in their last 16 versus a team with a losing record. Chicago is 4-10 in their last 14 in Game 3 of a series. After holding a somewhat comfortable 7-4 lead on Saturday, the White Sox had a complete collapse. They went on to lose in extra innings and suffered another loss, with Yasmani Grandal exiting the game. That seems to be the theme of Chicago's season thus far, as injuries have prevented them from where they were at this point last season. However, they've proven to be a resilient, mentally tough team, as they're still relevant in both the division and the wild card race. Grandal's status should certainly be monitored, but the series finale is more about Sox starter Michael Kopech. Their other starters, such as Lucas Giolito and Dylan Cease, may be more well-known, but Kopech has been great this season. They've needed him to step up with Lance Lynn as one of their injury issues, and he's done it in a big way. His last start was a scoreless 6-inning outing against arguably the best lineup in the Dodgers, if not Los Angeles. The Yankees could be argued to have the best lineup in baseball. Kopech faced them in back-to-back starts and gave up a grand total of 2 hits in 13 innings. If he can have performances like that against the best, the Rangers should not be an issue for him. After an extra inning game, his ability to pitch deep into games will be a great advantage, as the relief arms will be more fatigued. The same will be the case for Texas bullpen, who have blown leads themselves. They're far more likely to be forced into the game earlier, as starter Jon Gray's 5.28 ERA leaves a lot to be desired. Despite not being a healthy team, the White Sox have still proven they can produce, so the Chicago White Sox money line is our full game side pick. Neither offense has put up overly impressive numbers, with both teams ranking in the bottom half of the league in runs scored. With that said, the White Sox have been showing signs of life this week, averaging just shy of 9 runs per game over their last 3. Ranger pitching has also been taking a beating, surrendering an average of 7 runs per game over the same stretch. The over is 3-0 in Chicago's last 3 and 4-1 in the Rangers' last. Not only is Chicago's ability to produce runs while missing key hitters impressive, it helps lead to higher totals. It may not be another 20-run game like Saturday, but we don't even need half of that. These teams reached 11 total runs in the series opener and should end the series in similar fashion. Other than Kopech performing well, everything else sets up for a high-scoring game. First and foremost would be the fatigued bullpens on both sides. Each team starter on Saturday afternoon went exactly 5 innings, leaving a total of 10 innings pitched between all of the relievers. Despite the loss, the Sox did well hitting against Martin Perez, who is a Cy Young candidate. They had 12 hits and scored 6 runs against the lefty. It was even more proof as to how great Chicago's home stadium is for runs as well. It's the 3rd best in the league for home runs, something Luis Robert and Jose Abreu can easily do off of Rangers starter Jon Gray. Look for both offenses to come out swinging on Sunday. Miami Marlins versus Houston Astros. The Marlins and Astros conclude their 3-game series in Houston on Sunday afternoon. Miami has taken the first 2 games of the series, pushing their record to 27-30 and extending their winning streak to 5 games in the process. Miami's strong pitching has held the powerful Astros bats in check for both games, especially on Saturday, when Houston mustered just 1 unearned run in as they lost 5-1. The Astros are on a mini 3-game losing streak, but it is likely not of much concern as they still hold a 36-23 record and have a comfortable lead in the American League West. The Astros have lost 4 of their last 6 games and 3 of their last 4 home games. Even though they continue to play well offensively, they will struggle in this game because they don't hit the ball as well against right-handers, and they're going up against Cabrera, who has looked good since his return from injury, giving up 1 run in 2 starts. The Marlins have won 5 of their last 6 games, and they've been on a roll offensively, scoring 28 runs in their last 4 games. Even though Verlander has done a good job on the mound for the Astros, he struggled in recent starts, giving up 10 runs in his last 3 starts. Houston is way too big a favorite here today, and Verlander is one of those aces that tends to be overvalued by the public who just wants to lay their money down on the sure thing. Frontline starter. This leaves value in betting on Miami as a massive underdog. It's not like there isn't anything to like. Edward Cabrera has a ton of potential and has looked right at home in his 2 brief MLB stints, striking out batters nearly as efficiently as he did in the minors. Seeing a pitcher for the first time is often a challenge for hitters, as the element of surprise gives a small edge. With the Marlins hitting the ball well against right-handers, expect Verlander to have a hard time slowing them down. The Miami Marlins money line is our full game side pick. The Marlins are averaging 4.52 runs per game and 4.33 runs per game on the road. They averaged 3 runs per game in their last 3 games against the Astros, with Houston giving up 3.17 runs per game at home. The Marlins will be held under their average in this game. The Astros are averaging 4.10 runs per game and 3.67 runs per game at home. They averaged 6.33 runs per game in their last 3 games against the Marlins. Even though Miami is giving up 4.07 runs per game on the road, they gave up 1.5 runs per game in games started by Cabrera. Cabrera has flashed his strong strikeout stuff over his first 2 starts, fanning 9 batters in his 2022 debut and following up with 4 more in his second effort. Verlander has been outstanding and shown 0 ill effects from his Tommy John surgery. Miami has done a terrific job limiting damage from Houston in this series, and in spite of their big names, their results have been below average so far this season. Miami's bats are in the middle of the pack as well, and have a terrible matchup against one of the best pitchers in baseball. Until someone finds a way to hit Edward Cabrera with a relatively high line and Verlander opposing him on the other side, this one is an easy choice. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Tampa Bay Rays versus Minnesota Twins. The Tampa Bay Rays and the Minnesota Twins square off in the final game of their 3-game set on Sunday afternoon. The Rays were the toast of the American League in 2021 with 100 wins and an American League East crown. This season, the Rays have found the road to the playoffs a bit more challenging and are in 3rd place in the American League East. For Minnesota, 2022 has been the polar opposite of 2021. After coming into 2021 as the favorite in the American League Central, the Twins finished in dead last. This season, with far less expectations, the Twins are atop the American League Central and are the only team over .500 in the division. Sunday's pitching matchup features lefty Jeffrey Springs of the Rays squaring off against righty Cole Sands of the Twins. The Rays are 40-19 in their last 59 in Game 3 of a series and 4-9 in their last 13 road games versus a team with a winning record. The under is 8-3-1 in Tampa's last 12 versus a team with a winning record. Meanwhile, the Twins are 7-0 in the last 7 Sunday games and 1-4 in their last 5 in Game 3 of a series. The over is 6-1-3 in Minnesota's last 10 Sunday games. Both of these teams have had success this season, but Minnesota has taken the first 2 games of this series. Minnesota is starting Cole Sands, who has started 2 games this year and has lasted a total of 7.2 innings and given up 8 earned runs in those starts. For Tampa Bay, Jeffrey Springs has been very good and has allowed a total of 4 runs over his last 27.1 innings pitched. When these 2 teams met earlier this season, the Twins took 3 of 4 and averaged 7 runs per game against the vaunted Rays pitching staff. The Twins have won the first 2 games of this series, averaging almost 8 runs per game. Bottom line, the Rays have struggled against Minnesota. They are 1-4 in the last 5 meetings with the Twins and 2-6 in the last 8 meetings in Minnesota. The Rays should have the distinct pitching advantage when Springs squares off with Sands tomorrow afternoon. The Tampa Bay Rays are overdue for a win over the Twins, and I love the pitching matchup here for Tampa as Springs has been excellent and Sands has struggled mightily. So the Tampa Bay Rays money line is our full game side pick. The Twins are a top 5 hitting team in baseball, and they have been pounding the ball as of late. They have also obliterated Tampa pitching this season, averaging about 8 runs per game against the Rays. I don't think they'll do that well against Springs. The over is 36 to 13 to 2 in the last 51 meetings between these two overall, and 8 to 2 in the last 10 meetings in Minnesota. Also, the over is 3 to 0 to 1 in the Twins' last 4 home games versus a team with a winning record, and 4 to 0 to 1 in their last 5 games versus a starter with a WHIP less than 1.15. In addition, the over is 5 to 1 in the Rays' last 6 road games versus a team with a winning record. Despite how well Springs has pitched recently, these teams have proven that they can put up some runs. The series opened with 13 total runs and followed up with Saturday's 11 total runs. Tampa should get a solid outing from Springs, but each team's starter is a former reliever. Therefore, they're more prone to shorter outings than most usual starters. With how much the relief pitchers have been used in this series, that fatigue should lead to more run production. Even still, these are 2 of the top 5 teams in terms of scoring in the first inning. That too has happened in each of the first 2 games, and yesterday had 8 runs by the end of the 3rd inning. Despite Wander Franco's absence, Randy Arozarena has stepped up in a big way. Along with Minnesota's Byron Buxton's affinity for home runs recently, there should be another double-digit total on Sunday. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.